Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name is Brad. This is my channel Animate Orange, where I put together a lot of 3D metal models. Today, one of the new tanks, the M1 Abrams from Metal Earth. I've done the other tanks in the lineup. This is the newest one. Came out not too long ago. I'm a little late in grabbing it. There's been extenuating circumstances, but I have had someone ask for me to put this together, so I'm going to give it a shot today. 2 sheets. The tanks are usually and definitely within the medium range of difficulty. I'm guessing this is probably going to take me a couple hours, maybe more. But as always, one way to find out. Let's open it up, take a look at the inside, and put it together. The M1 Abrams tank. Time to get caught up once again with the tank collection quickly before they come out with another. Inside we have the 2 metal sheets, and we have the instructions with a little bit of a stiff part down here. I bet you that's the barrel, of the gun. Carefully try to peel that off. We have our model parts. That's the barrel of the tank. And if we open up the directions even further, it's only 1 sheet, so that's somewhat promising. Starting with the front page, page 1, we have Fascinations Metal Earth 3D Metal Model Kits, the usual line drawing, item number, QR code to scan with your phone so you can see a little bit about 360 view, possibly some other stuff. We have the bit about the insertion tabs, fold lines, and insertion holes. Needle nose pliers are helpful for assembly. We have what I always refer to as a legend, and then the newer part of the legend. Over here, the blue circle, when you see that in the directions beside a connection point, means to insert and fold the tab over 90 degrees. The green triangle means to insert and twist the tab 90 degrees to secure it. When you see an E pointing at a side, it's telling you that's the engraved side. The NE is pointing to the non-engraved side. That's usually self-explanatory, although sometimes not as much as you think. You have to kind of use your head sometimes, because both sides will have some sort of engraving on it. I don't know if that's the case with this model, but the engraved side is usually the side that's going to show up on the outside of the model at the end. And then the attention point, there's something going on here that they're trying to bring your attention to. Make sure, maybe it's a particular slot that needs to line up with a particular tab, or something needs to go a certain way, so pay attention. Sometimes they'll have a little bit of a description as to why that's an attention point. And the section here, pull and screw metal tabs 90 degrees to tighten, so that can make a better connection if you pull on it, if you can. They tend to, shiny little metal tabs tend to slip out of pliers, but if you can pull it off, not to say it's that hard, yeah. And then we have our 2 metal sheets with the numbers pointing to the parts so that you can find them. Like for instance, this sheet here, this is part 1, this big section here, and I have this the wrong way. Flip it over, there we go. There's part 1. Part 5 is this little piece here, up here. So it helps you to find the different parts, to put them together in the directions. And if we turn over or open up to page 2, we have the start of the assembly flowchart. Of course, starting with part 1, which is here, adding in part 2, there's 2 part 2s. And then we have a sub-assembly here, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and how they come together. And then that part's added on to the larger part 1 here, along with 7. And then 8 and 9 come together in this little box and are added on there. And you just follow these arrows, doing the sub-assemblies and adding them to the larger part, building and shaping. Get to the bottom, we flip to the inside to page 3. We continue on at the top, following the arrows and all the different assemblies, and then over to page 4, the last page. And once you get to the bottom, of course, you are done with your metal model. Let's talk tools. I have a pretty standard set of tools that I use in most every build. I have needle nose pliers, I have flat nose pliers, I have flush clippers. These are a must for me. They clip parts off the sheets quickly and cleanly. I have a set of precision tweezers, one with a very pointed end, one with the pointed end ground down slightly, and a flat set with a sort of curved tip, useful for twisting tabs in slightly curved areas. I also have a pretty standard set of tweezers with a flat angled end. These come in one of the Iconics kits, and I use them a lot. When it comes to shaping rounded parts, there are many options. I used dowel rods for a long time. I sharpened the ends of two of them with a pencil sharpener. These two are great for making cone shapes. Another option is a cheap drill bit set. This set has quite a few different sizes to choose from. Another option is a set of step mandrels. Ring pliers or round nose pliers can be found with jewelry making tools and work wonderfully for curving delicate and or hard to get to areas. Taking a brief look at the directions, we've got the metal sheets, got some tools to get us started. Let's put this together. It took some work to get the tip of the gun piece to bend along with the rest of it.
make sure you put the tabs in the inner slots. Oops, put the part on the wrong side. As always, bending the tabs so they all point towards the next part or connection makes connecting multiple tabs easier. I keep a few magnets by my workstation to hold on to lots of small parts like these. Time to roll a lot of wheels. The instructions say to twist the tabs holding the wheel assembly on, but I opted to bend the tabs over instead. I've had issues with the twisted tabs getting in the way of putting on that last bottom piece on the other tanks. This video has been edited down. I've not shown all the different attempts, adjustments, or retries of this build. I also clip out parts where I am studying directions, searching for and clipping parts, and sometimes repetitive steps. It may make this kit look like it comes together easier than it did, but there are a lot of bending and adjusting of parts to make things fit. Work slowly, be patient, and take your time. I often have to try more than one different size drill bit or dowel rod to find the right size for the curve. You can't really see it, but I'm bending the tabs over on the bottom connecting the turret, but not too tightly, because too tightly and the turret will not turn. Those magnets I use to pick up the small parts can also come in handy lining up tabs, sections like this. Once again, my Metal Earth tank collection is complete. I give you the M1 Abrams model. Very nice looking build, and I really enjoy that the turret actually turns and works. This model took just under 2 hours to build. It wasn't a highly complicated model. It was there's a lot of detail to it, so it did take some patience and time, but nothing overly challenging. It was a lot of fun to do, and I really enjoyed it. Just took my time with it, and everything came together, and I ended up with this wonderful looking, seems to be larger model than the other tanks, although I think it's just kind of flatter, so it looks bigger. But anyway, it's a nice tank. I enjoyed putting it together. Hopefully this video will help you if you are putting this model together. I definitely recommend it if you're into tanks. I think this may be my favorite one out of all of them so far, and maybe that's just because the turret turns, or maybe it's just the look. I'm not sure. But as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.